Hi, and welcome to Deep Dive with Jamie Stein, where we take a deep dive look at all things reality TV, pop culture, and the world at large. I'm an intuitive and an empath, which means I pick up on the thoughts, feelings, and energy percolating in other people and the world around me. I believe there is meaning waiting to be found at every turn if you're willing to see it. So join me as we dismantle everything from trash TV to high spiritual concepts and learn more about ourselves, each other, and how we're all connected. All right, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Deep Dive with Jamie Stein. First episode of the year 2026. Hope everyone had a happy holiday season and New Year. And we are going to be kicking things off with a little quick hit. This is going to be a quick and dirty drop-in to none other than the professor herself, Wendy Osefo, towards money. As I'm sure you all know, Wendy is in a little bit of drama with these charges for insurance fraud. And it just got me curious what we might uncover if we took a little trip into Wendy's psyche and her possible relationship with money, what it might reveal about her, what it might reflect in us, what it might reflect in the collective. So we do not know if she is guilty or innocent. Everyone gets their due time in court. Either way, there's a drama around money for Wendy. And whenever there's drama, there's always learning. Wherever there's drama, there's always an invitation to go deeper. Wherever there's drama, it's spirit beckoning us to look at something. So let's take a possible look at some of what might be going on with Wendy Osefo towards the topic of money. So with all that said, I'm just going to drop in to Dr. Wendy Osefo towards money. Here we go. Okay, it's interesting. So I would say there's two chief threads that immediately pop at once, and I'll just tackle them one at a time. So interestingly, the first thing that really pops is almost it's like a hesitation. You know, it's like I'm looking at money as Wendy. I'm looking at this pile of money down there, and it's like, you can't see me at home, but I'm bracing. Like I feel this actual bracing in my chest and in my heart. I'm actually pulling away from it a little bit. And it's like, I mean, I want to be clear. The money is drawing me in for sure. Like I'm drawn to it. I like it. I want to be in relationship with it, but it's almost like I don't trust it. Like that's what I want to say. And I'm looking at it. It's like I'm here. I'm sitting on the edge of this pile of money. I'm looking at it, but I'm looking at it from the side of my eyes. And my body is very tense and it is very braced, and I'm not going to make the first move. And yeah, I just want to come back to this notion of like, I don't trust you. Oof. Like that's what I hear. Oof. Yeah. Like I feel it even when I say those words. I feel it as Wendy. It's like, I don't trust you. You've played a dirty game with me in my life. Like it's like bait and switch is suddenly what I'm hearing. Like I'm hearing that I'm not. It just feels like you fucked with me, money. Like you fucked with me. You've made me a promise and then you've bailed. So if I just stay with this for a moment, yeah, it just feels like my experience of money is very push-pull. And if I keep following this thread, yeah, it's like, I don't trust you. I don't fucking trust you. You've let me down before. You've betrayed me before. You've promised me one thing and then not delivered on the promise. And it's almost, okay, so I experience this two ways. And of course, I'm not in Wendy's wallet. I'm not in her financial history. I'm not in her checkbook. I don't obviously know the ins and outs of her financial history. All I can do is track the way this lands energetically in my body and then give illustrative examples of what I mean, speaking to the quality of the energy. And there's sort of two chief things that I feel around this, and they're actually connected. So one is just like, if I had to kind of interpret this in the most kind of direct way, it is almost this feeling of like, I thought accumulating you would solve my problems. Like that there was this drive to accumulate money. I thought it would solve my problems. I'm feeling like, as I say this, I thought it would solve my family's problems. I thought I could accumulate money, have it for myself, give it to others, and it would solve my problems. And it hasn't. In fact, it's only created more problems. And then I've just needed more money. Like, that's what it feels like. Like, I put my trust and faith in you, and then you didn't come through for me. So that's kind of like the first layer of the distrust and the betrayal. But then underneath that, and again, connected to it, it's kind of like, you've always let me down. You've always let me down. You've always let me down. You've always bitten me in the ass. And as I say that, what I'm so aware of, like, I'm so aware, for example, of that last scene we saw between Wendy and her mother and her sister, where her mother was being so hard on her, right, about the fact that she suffered so deeply when Wendy's father walked out on the family. And I recall one of the chief things that her mother was saying as she was wielding this anger was like, I had to go out and work 4 jobs, right? There was like a real thread of, I had to go out there and earn the money. And that financial predicament, at least in that scene, and I have to imagine this is not the first time Wendy's heard this stuff, money was a huge driving force in Wendy's mother's martyrdom. Not to like minimize what Wendy's mother went through, because it clearly was very painful, but we saw her leveraging an abusive rage towards Wendy. And again, talking about, I had to go out there and earn these jobs. I had to go out there and support you. And so just even that right there, I can feel the potential for Wendy of money was used. Well, oh my God, like, it's so layered already. It's like, first of all, money was in a way like the bad guy to begin with. Like, dad walked out, and I guess if we're in a financially precarious situation, money is causing a stress for my mother. Money is causing a stress for our family. Like, money is a stressor in our life. But then on top of that, my mother is using money as a justification and a vehicle and a vessel for her abusive energy towards me. I'm going out there and working 4 jobs. You don't get to speak up. How dare you? You're ungrateful. Money is the tool of her mother's rage. And it's a tool used to shut Wendy down. Right? Oh, even just saying that, I like my heart, I just get feelings. It's like really deep. So money caused the problem in the first place, and then money is the vehicle and the reason for the rage. And then if I keep going with it, what we also know is that Wendy's mother put a lot of pressure on Wendy to be successful in a certain type of way. Like, there was real currency in the kind of job she had, being a professor, getting her doctorate. And we know, we saw this on Potomac. Like, Wendy was stressed about telling her mother that she was leaving her job at Johns Hopkins. And I think, what we see of Wendy from the show is like, the show has clearly given her a platform and an opportunity, it feels like, to step more fully into the truth of who she feels she is. Like, she was living one kind of life before the show, which was more of like a button down, responsible, kind of like professionally conservative woman, right? And then as she's been on the show, she's stepping away from these jobs. She's stepping into the limelight. She's gotten the plastic surgery. It stands to reason that there's been a real split in Wendy between perhaps the woman she's always wanted to be and the kind of life she's wanted to live versus the pressure she has felt from her mother to go out there and be successful in a certain type of way, which again, I'm imagining is very connected to earning money. And we know that like Wendy has been sending money to her mother, and this has been a topic on the show. So I'm saying this because there's like another layer of what money means to Wendy, that it's been kind of like a vehicle, not just of the emotional abuse. I mean, I'm calling it emotional abuse, not just a vehicle for her mother's rage, her annihilating rage, but it's also been a driving force in the demands and the pressures put on Wendy to be a certain type of woman and to have a certain type of success and to support the family in a certain type of way. Which then this connects back to the first point that I was making about I went out there, perhaps I earned the money, I did the thing, and still it didn't change anything. So just even in that, there's a lot of emotional, energetic associations with money. It's the cause of family strife. It's the vehicle for my mother's rage. It's the vehicle for the pressure put on me to be a different type of woman that I actually want to be. And it all comes back to fucking money. Again, you guys, I don't know, Wendy, who knows how on track this is, but all I can say is as I'm saying this, I am feeling fucking feelings in my body. My heart was tense at the start of this, and now it's like I just feel, honestly, grief. I feel real fucking grief. And I feel the pressure of an entire lineage trauma around money. So if I just stay with this a little bit longer, this grief, this distrust, yeah, it really is just this feeling like you set me up to fail and I fucking hate you for it. And it really is this feeling like I want to come towards you. I want to be in relationship with you. I feel like I could have this deep, abundant relationship with you if only I could earn you how I want to earn you and spend you how I want to spend you. But I was never given that fucking opportunity. You set me up to fail. That feels like such a big part of the grief and the disappointment. It's like I feel this deep, sacred, abundant relationship with money that wants to happen. And I was never given the fucking chance. And it infuriates me. I was set up to fucking fail from the get-go. And so now, yeah, looking at money, it's like, I'm like drawn to you. I'm enticed by you. I feel this magic juju we could have together, and yet I don't fucking trust you because I feel like you abandoned me from the very beginning. And it's not fucking fair. So it feels like there's this real push-pull in Wendy around money. I love you, I hate you. I love you, I hate you. I want to move towards you, I don't trust you. I want to move towards you, I don't trust you. I don't want to get set up again. So yeah, there's a lot here. Okay. So there's the mistrust. There's the voice in Wendy saying, I don't fucking trust you. You've set me up and you've let me down before. So that was the first big layer that came through. Now, the second layer that came through, and this is kind of an energetic shift, and this is why I'm always saying, you guys, multiple things can be true at once. It's never just one thing, right? We are these multifaceted beings, and we have multifaceted relationships with people, places, and things. And now we're going into a little bit of a different posture. And this one is much more pleasurable. I've got a sneaky smile on my face. And I just suddenly feel like the little girl has got her hand in the cookie jar. And I'm just hearing the words mine, mine, mine. It's mine, mine, mine. Like this aspect of Wendy that I'm feeling is like she's like rolling around like a pig in shit. Like mine, like a little girl who's just like, I want to do what I want, when I want, how I want. She's like rolling around in the money, throwing the money up in the air. And it feels like a secret pleasure. Oh, even just saying that, this huge smile just lit up on my face. I'm going to do what I want, when I want, how I fucking want, and ain't nobody is going to stop me. You're not going to stop me. So it kind of feels like this is where, and again, I'm not passing a verdict on these charges per se. I'm just saying that I am picking up on energetically. It feels like a secretive aspect to Wendy's relationship with money. Now I'm hearing the words like, the things that happen in shadows. It just feels like I'm going to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it. Like no one can tell me what to do. It's an act of rebellion. I want what I want. So it's sort of like, if we keep tracking the threads, if there's been this pressure put on Wendy to be a certain way, to show up in a certain way, to portray herself, if her protest has been squashed, if she's someone who's not been allowed to say, hey, mom, like, I love you, but you can't talk to me like this. You can't treat me like this. Or, hey, mom, I love you, but this pressure is too fucking much. If she's never been allowed to say all that, and by the way, we know Wendy has a rebel in her because, again, we're seeing it on the show. You see this a lot. Like you see, for example, Bronwyn perhaps using the show as a way to finally get out of this marriage. Like we see this all the time. People, and I'm not saying this in a bad way. I think it's kind of like a cool, clever solution for some people. People often use the cameras as a way to empower themselves to make the changes that they otherwise might not be able to make, right? And so we've seen, as I said, Wendy step into these different parts of herself. And I was very aware in that last scene with her mother and her sister. It's like, oh, she's getting this on camera. She's getting her witnesses all in order, meaning us, the viewers, we're the witnesses. If this is something that she's scared to do on her own, or if it's something that feels like, like in the shadows of privacy, she's not going to have the strength or the gumption to stand up to the oppressive voices in her family that are trying to keep a certain system in place. Well, I'll fucking bring you on camera. And I'll air this out on camera, and then the whole world can weigh in. And then I've got the world on my side, and I've got other voices saying this behavior is bad. And I'm just saying this because, again, what I'm trying to say is I think from the show we've seen, there is a rebel in Wendy. And I think this show has been a vehicle for the rebel in her. But bringing this back to this energetic thread, I think what I'm getting off of this is like some sort of secret relationship to money where the rebel in Wendy, the rule breaker, like that's what I want to say, the rule breaker, the one who wants to fucking break the fucking rules, that energy gets to live. And so I get to do things that I want to do and spend money on what I want to spend money on. And it's sort of like the voice is like, and I don't, mom's never going to fucking know. No one's going to fucking know. This is where I get to do what I want and nobody can fucking stop me. Ooh, feels good. I mean, Wendy's inner rebel feels it's a strong, exciting energy. And it feels like a huge part of her life force. So I can imagine how painful it would be for Wendy as a girl, young woman, an adult woman to not be able to express the rebel in her in a direct, clean, clear, conscious way that could be constructive for both herself and for the people around her. So I'll stop there. I think that's a lot of information. Again, this is a very deep topic. I think the last thing I'll just say, I mentioned this briefly, I really feel the lineage piece here. I'm not overly familiar with Nigerian culture, but I just feel the presence so strongly of like generations of financial trauma. And Wendy finding herself at the heart of this, and then, suddenly very aware of her as, I forget her exact story. I forget if she was born in the US or if she was born in Nigeria, but I know obviously she's like first generation American, I believe, something like that, right? And just the duality of that role, the split between deference to Native tradition, culture, and heritage, and also being an American woman and trying to navigate that. There's a lot here. All right, you guys. As always, I'm always inviting all of us to use these characters, these reality TV show characters, as possible opportunities for reflection of our own inner landscape. And so I think Wendy offers us an opportunity to maybe take a playful, curious look at our own relationship with money. And on that note, maybe I'll just leave you with a couple questions to think about, such as, what does money represent to you? And perhaps if you were free to spend your money any which way you could, how would you spend your money if you didn't have to answer to anyone else's expectations or society's expectations or to the shoulds in your mind? How would you honestly want to spend your money? And lastly, what keeps you from doing so? All right, you guys, more to come soon. Excited to see what 2026 is going to bring in terms of all these juicy dramas. And I will see you on the flip side. Bye.